cut to scene 5. We are now in the Capulets orchard. So Romeo has just made the plans for their wedding, and the nurse has received those plans. Remember that they are supposed to go to the friar's cell in the afternoon to get married, and then they'll have a rope ladder for the wedding night. So here we are, enter Juliet, and Juliet is by herself, and notice she's going to be speaking in an extended kind of chunk of text. And so she's by herself speaking. Again, we call that a soliloquy. Okay? Juliet says, "The clock struck 9 when I did send the nurse. In half an hour she promised to return. Perchance she cannot meet him. That's not so. Oh, she is lame. Love's herald should be thoughts which 10 times faster glide than the sun's beams, driving back shadows over lowering hills. Therefore do nimble-pinioned doves draw love, and therefore hath the wind-swift Cupid wings. Now is the sun upon the highmost hill of this day's journey, and from 9 till 12 is 3 long hours, and yet she is not come." Okay, so Juliet is getting very, very impatient here. She's getting very frustrated because the nurse left at 9 a.m. It's noon now, and she still has not returned. And so all this part in the meantime, though, talks about how like love's messengers, love's heralds, should be thoughts because thoughts are so much faster. She also talks about how doves, okay, because they have such quick wings, those are the ones that pull the chariot of Venus, the goddess of love, right? And so she's like, man, love's messages should be so much faster, and the nurse is taking forever to get back. Had she affections and warm youthful blood, she would be as swift in motion as a ball. My words would bandy her to my sweet love, and his to me. But old folks, many feign as they were dead, unwieldy, slow, heavy, and pale as lead. Okay, so she's kind of making fun of the nurse in a way too, saying that she's so old and lame and she's so slow because she's old. Oh God, she comes. Enter the nurse and Peter. Oh, honey nurse, what news? I love that she calls her honey nurse, like sweet nurse. Remember, she had just called her old and lame and slow and heavy, but now it's, oh, honey nurse, right? Because she wants something from her. What news? Hast thou met with him? Send thy man away. Nurse. Peter, stay at the gate. Exit Peter. Juliet. Now, good, sweet nurse. O Lord, why lookest thou sad? Though news be sad, tell them merrily. If good, thou shamest the music of sweet news by playing it to me with so sour a face. I mean, if it's bad news, at least tell me happily. If it's good news, then you are doing me a disservice by looking so sad. The nurse. I'm a-weary. Give me leave a while. Fie, how my bones ache. What a jaunt have I had. Juliet. I would thou hadst my bones and I thy news. Meaning, I wish we could trade places here. I wish I could give you my youthful bones that yours ache, and I wish I had the news that you have. Can we make a trade here? Nay, come, I pray thee, speak. Good, good nurse, speak. The nurse. Jesu, what haste! Can you not stay a while? Do you not see that I am out of breath? What the nurse is doing, by the way, is both kind of cruel and funny, because Juliet very clearly wants a very particular piece of news, and a big piece of news that's, related to her marriage and her wedding. And the nurse, notice she doesn't get to it right away. Oh, I'm weary. Give me leave a while. And then she says over here, can you not stay a while? Don't you see I'm out of breath? So she always has these excuses like, just give me a second. And so the nurse is kind of screwing with her because the nurse has good news and she knows that. But she also knows that Juliet is being very impatient in this moment. Juliet, how art thou out of breath when thou hast breath to say to me that thou art out of breath? I love that. She is really impatient. She's like, look, you're not too out of breath to tell me that you're out of breath, so just tell me my news. The excuse that thou dost make in this delay is longer than the tale thou dost excuse, meaning you could have already told me the news already. Is thy news good or bad? Answer to that. Say either, and I'll stay the circumstance. Let me be satisfied. Is it good or bad? The nurse. Well, you have made a simple choice, meaning a foolish or simple-minded choice. You know not how to choose a man. Romeo, no, not he. Though his face be better than any man's, yet his leg excels all men's, and for a hand and a foot and a body, though they not to be talked on, yet they are past compare. He's not the flower of courtesy, but I'll warrant him as gentle as a lamb. Go thy ways, wench, serve God. What, have you dined at home? Again, the nurse is delaying the news. She starts talking about how handsome Romeo is, but Juliet doesn't want to hear how handsome Romeo is. She wants to hear the news of her wedding. Juliet, and then the nurse ends with, what, have you dined at home? Juliet, no, no, but all this did I know before. What says he of our marriage? What of that? The nurse, Lord, how my head aches. What a head have I! It beats as though it would fall in 20 pieces. My back on the other side. Oh, my back, my back. Beshrew your heart for sending me about to catch my death with jaunting up and down, meaning shame on you for sending me on a journey that would make my body ache so much. Juliet, in faith, I am sorry that thou art not well. Sweet, sweet, sweet nurse, tell me what says my love. Nurse, your love says, like an honest gentleman, and a courteous, and a kind, and a handsome, and I warrant a virtuous. Where's your mother? Juliet, where is my mother? Why, she's within. Where should she be? How oddly thou repliest. Your love says, like an honest gentleman, where is your mother? Nurse, oh, God's lady dear, are you so hot? Meaning impatient. Marry, come up, I trow. Meaning, cool down, relax for just a second. Is this the poultice for my aching bones? Henceforward, do your messages yourself. Juliet, you're such a coil. Come, what says Romeo? Nurse, have you got leave to go to shrift today? Juliet, I have. Nurse, then hie you hence to Friar Lawrence's cell. There stays a husband to make you a wife. Now comes the wanton blood up in your cheeks, they'll be in scarlet straitened in the news. Hie you to church. I must another way to fetch a ladder, by the which your love must climb a bird's nest soon when it is dark. I am the drudge and toil in your delight, meaning I get to do all the dirty work, but you shall bear the burden soon at night. Bear the burden soon at night, that's referring to the wedding night and a wife's duty on the wedding night. Go, all to dinner, hie you to the cell. Juliet, hie to high fortune, meaning wish me luck. Honest nurse, farewell. And that concludes Act 2, Scene 5.